Mr. Producer, we got all them hoes. I got my Miami, my what's it called? Tony Montana, fucking shirt on. Figured. Hold on. Anyways, what's up, Harry? We're live.
What's up, dude? Yeah, they robbed me of all my blood.
Yeah, let's get a little sneak peek of that because the gentleman inside of the fitness campus, I'm sure they're gonna be curious about this.
Yeah. Well, I put out a YouTube video on Saturday. So I just recorded a couple things, just a little bit of talking in the morning after I woke up, went and worked out, did leg day, ran, talked about my workout in the video I put up, showed the grocery haul, everything I grabbed, and then yeah, just talked about the weekend a little bit and what I was getting done today. So in the video I mentioned I'm working with the Merrick Health, which I know I've told you about. So it's the guy that owns. He's like the more plates, more dates guy, Derek. He also owns Gorilla Mind, which is a pretty popular supplement company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was talking with them. One of my buddies recommended me to work with them. I don't have a PCP. I haven't met with the doctor in a while. Which for anyone that's 1099, if you don't have health insurance or maybe since you've gotten out of college or maybe you're in college and you haven't met with a doctor in a long time, you just want to make sure everything's good. Um, Merrick Health, they don't work with health insurance anyways. So even if you don't have insurance, you're going to pay the same price as everybody else.
Mm.
So I had an initial consultation with the health coach there, signed me up to get a physical lab work. So I went and got us, gave seven vials of blood today. Um,
Oh,
yeah, it wasn't
go.
bad at all. Got a physical, did a urinalysis, so gave him some piss, and
You gave a P Chase,
yeah,
a little cup of P Chase. There you
yep.
go.
And then this week they'll get everything back, and then they basically just review everything with you. They'll make like lifestyle adjustment recommendations, adjustments to your diet. They have access to like all the pharmaceutical stuff too, so like all the peptides and TRT if your levels are destroyed, and uh, yeah. So I'm excited. They really just work to optimize your health. They want to work to help you improve sleep, recovery, endurance, strength and muscle gain, energy levels, focus, reducing stress levels, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to talk about it more. Once I get all the stuff back, I'm going to do another video on YouTube just talking about the overall experience, what
Nice.
kind of feedback they gave to me and stuff. But yeah,
I'm excited to see what you get back too because then it's going to be the baseline or the benchmark for me because I'll end up doing it too. And the big one we're waiting on is the testosterone levels. That's the one we're curious about.
yeah. I wasn't sure if I wanted to try and bring them down as much as I could before eat a bunch of McDonald's, just be a degenerate for a couple days, tank the levels, get
So they
get
would
some
recommend it to you.
yeah.
Hilarious.
But
Guys,
nah,
I'm dying over here. I'm basically turning into a female. I need
yeah.
I need TRT.
But I did all the recommendations they said, no strenuous workouts for 48 hours prior, no sexual activity, no stimulants
Um,
or anything this morning before the blood work. Fasted for 12 hours prior to it.
no sexual activity, is that to keep down the T levels or no, keep them up?
No, so I guess I looked like it doesn't affect your testosterone levels much, but there's a prostate agonist or
Mm.
prostate something exam, and yeah, that kind of stuff can elevate your I can't remember what the level is, um, PSA levels or something like that, but that's when it can throw off. And then no vitamins or supplements or anything for 48 hours prior to. So did everything I
Interesting.
could to get a realistic baseline.
Gentlemen,
Else,
a lot of the gentlemen are you're not gonna have to worry about that. Don't worry about cracking too many cheeks before the test. You guys are working on that still. Ooh, I just saw 444 on the live. Um, but yeah, no, that's exciting.
444 live viewers.
Yeah, for sure. 444 live viewers with 444 point increase on Ethereum today. I'm speaking into existence. So, but yeah, no, that's going to be exciting. So that's going to be huge for the people inside the Taylor's Code that are in the fitness campus with Logan. Now you're going to be able to see his transition from, because he's already supplementing at a high level. He's obviously got his workout routine locked in, dietary plan. I mean, he's just fucking animal. You guys can see the pictures he posts online. But now this will be taking it to a completely different level, which I can't even imagine how much more shredded you're going to be able to get, but it's just going to happen because now whenever you have professionals locking you in and dialing you in, from a what would be the word for it? A physiological level, just more data in terms of what they're trying to affect and what they're trying to improve. You can't beat that. I mean, there's going to be next level.
And that's something I want to be able to help people do for themselves too. Cause it's like, there's so many people that work in the fitness industry, obviously online. Like there's millions of people that sell fitness plans and a lot of people that are in great shape and, offer that type of service. But, that's why I like the way that we have stuff set up to be monthly. Cause, I want to be able to continue to talk to people and continue to help them progress. And, that just because something works for somebody doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Especially, I mean, workout routines, it's like you can be pretty standard across the board, but like with supplementing and diet and sleep recommendations and all this different stuff, it's like you got to know where you're at. You got to know what you're deficient in. And this is going to tell me everything for myself. And that's what I want to help people do, is really be able to maximize results on an individualized level. Because it's like if you can figure out exactly what works for you and how to tailor stuff to yourself, number one, you're getting way more for for the efforts you're putting in, because you're putting in the right efforts.
True.
Making sure you're doing the right stuff at the right time. And yeah, you're going to save yourself so much time, and you're not going to be wondering, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Like you're going to know what works and what you need to be doing. So,
yep. And
yeah,
you are
cool.
Yeah, and you're already seeing the community that we built inside the Discord, because for those of you that haven't heard, we launched the Discord for those that were already inside of the Taylor's Code, and then we're going to go live with that, live with it March 1st. And you can already see inside the Discord the whole point of having a network like that, so people can hold each other accountable to and see where others are at and see where they need to get themselves to. So now they're seeing myself, you, Bobby posting our fitness pics inside the community, and you see where you can get to, and it's going to hold other people accountable to getting to that point where, okay, I want to be fucking shredded. I want to have a six-pack. I want to be able to train for Ironmans, half marathons, etc. Like, you need to have those guys around you that are already doing that. Because if your whole group of guys, friends, etc., nobody knows anything about fitness and nobody's fit, well, what do you think is going to happen to you? Of course you're not going to be fit. Of course you're not going to be striving to get to that next level. Guys like Logan, myself, we're going to be holding you accountable to actually do something, actually change the way that you look. Because it's not just about making money. Yeah, we want to make money doing crypto and all this other shit, but what do you look like? What's your health like? If you're not healthy, what's it matter to have money? It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
100%. And it's like, it's not just, about getting a good physique too. It's like you said, it's about your overall health. And, if you're sleeping the right way, eating the right stuff, supplementing the things you're deficient in, you are exercising, you're getting your heart rate up consistently, 4 or 5 days a week at least, you're going to be able to perform so much better in everything else that you're doing too. And, I would recommend to people too, it's like if you have a group of friends that, maybe doesn't work out very consistently, or, the people that are in your immediate circle just aren't really into that type of stuff, start following people that you connect with, people that you want to emulate their results on social media. Like my Instagram now is just so focused around like triathlons and marathons and like super high level athletes. Same thing with like Strava. Every time I go on there, I see these people that are like absolute freaks, like running marathons, sub 6 minute pace and stuff. And so it just completely submerses me in it. And, it's like, for me now, I see what these people are doing on a day-to-day basis. It's just, it's just so normal for me to want to be able to do that type of stuff every single day too. Whereas if I'm exposing myself to just a bunch of degeneracy on social media, I get on, it's just a bunch of brain rot. Exactly. It's kind of like you are what you eat, but you are what you consume on social media too. So just being conscientious of that and trying to put the right stuff in front of you.
Yeah, you have to audit your circle and audit your surroundings. Everything that you're consuming on a day-to-day basis is who you're becoming. whether it's
Yeah.
food or, like you said, content. That's exactly right. It's whatever you consume is what you are. So, okay. All right, gentlemen. So I know you guys are here for the charts. So let's take a look at crypto, huh? So, couple of things happened. Friday, it was Friday evening, was Libra, right? Yeah, Friday evening was Libra. So we had another shitcoin get launched by the president of Argentina. Fantastic, right? Everybody, oh, we lost money. It was a rug pull, etc. Well, hey, good news for the gentleman side of the Taylor's Code. Once again, we have people in the markets. We have a network of individuals who caught it within 10 minutes of it launching. We had it in TC. Myself and a couple other gentlemen aped into it. 2x, 2.5x. Jeet. Everybody else got rug pulled. So business is speed, baby. Don't know what to tell you. We hit another one. So we cracked off on that, the Libra, but everybody's freaking out now because the person who had launched it for Malay, I mean, he scammed everybody. I mean, it was a rug pull basically. So they let it rip to a couple billy, rug pulled it down to like 200, 300 mil. And just recently, actually today, they tried pumping it back up a little bit. But people are freaking out. They're trying to impeach Malay. They're trying to, oh, it's a rug pull. People got to understand, this is why you have to not gamble consistently on chain unless you're able to get into these things literally the second that they launch. People can't get upset whenever they get rug pulled on something like that. Like, you know what it is. Number one, you shouldn't be putting your entire fucking life savings into a play like that. I saw some guys on Twitter who had lost, $500,000, $250,000 on the Argentina coin, and they're like, oh, freaking out. Say, listen, if you weren't prepared to lose that money, you shouldn't have aped that money into it, first of all. Second of all, you can't get upset because you know what it is, dude. It's fucking crypto. It's Solana meme coin. This shit's all the Solana meme coins are going to rug at some point. So you got to move with those things quickly, and this is why you have to position yourself in good projects that are actually going to withstand the test of time and have something that they're correlated with, like Ethereum beta, where you know how they're going to react compared to the broader market, as opposed to something that you're just hoping pumps a couple of X's, hoping has enough attention on it for a long enough period of time for you to be able to get in and get out safely. I'm not trying to base my whole entire investment strategy off of Solana shitcoins, right? So the lessons in it are, number one, business is speed. If you have the right people around you and you get in on these things quickly enough, like the Trump coin and Melania, like we did that other weekend, yeah, you will make money. But number two, you shouldn't use that as your fucking investment strategy. You shouldn't be completely on Solana trying to ape these shit coins thinking that you're going to get rich that way. No, people are going to get rug pulled on this stuff. Like, I'm not looking at these things like legitimate projects. It's a fucking Argentina coin. Probably not going to be around for very long.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with the Hawk Tua coin that everyone was freaking out about.
Exactly.
It's like, you're investing in Hawk Tua coin on Solana. Like, and those people that were crying and complaining about it, trying to sue her and all this stuff, sue her team. It's like, you knew exactly what it was, like you said. And it's like, if those people would have been able to get out at the top and dumped on everyone else and everyone else got screwed over, like, they wouldn't have been calling it crime. They wouldn't have been crying and complaining about it, because they were the ones that benefited.
Mm-hmm.
They're just, because they were on the shit end of the stick, they want to cry and say it's illegal and say that this and that. It's like, yeah, you know what it is. Whenever something goes up 18,000% in an hour after launching, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's just going to continue to go? It's like, if you want to gamble in something like that, you know what risk is associated. And if you don't, you're an idiot.
Correct.
And if you don't know the risk, you shouldn't be doing it, So, yeah.
100%. I agree. You know what it is. You're only upset because you lost money. If you had made money on other people, you wouldn't care. Oh my God, Libra is amazing. I made $1 million off it. Oh, I lost $250,000. Libra sucks. Put them in jail. No,
Yeah.
it's got to be fair both ways. You understand the game that you're playing. So anyways, the point is for those of you that, saw that happen, don't look at those as, oh man, I missed out on it, or oh man, I lost money on that. No, these events are going to happen. What this should tell you, though, is that we are going into a meme coin super cycle. That's the context in which you want to look at these things as. Leaders of nations are launching, and they're not even meme coins. It's not even a meme. They're just labeling it as a meme coin so that they can launch it and people buy it. There's no meme associated with President Malay, wherever the hell his name is. There's no meme there. Meme coins are Pepe, Doge. Those are memes, right? Meme coins. They're just using this as a way to be able to siphon liquidity and siphon money out of the market and just be degenerate. and take advantage of people. But understand if you're being taken advantage of. This is a gamble. Don't get upset if you miss it. So anyways, point being is now once all this stuff subsides, so you start to see these meme coins that they drop that are these scam coins and they stop happening and people stop aping into them. There's always going to be some suckers, but people stop aping into them. What's going to happen is you're going to see all that attention, all that liquidity start to get siphoned back into the winning projects, the projects that have been around for multiple years, sustained these different market conditions, and shown strength whenever the market's in a favorable position, like Pepe, like Andy, like Wolf, like Brett, like other meme coins that are actually been around for a couple of years. That's what people don't understand about these meme coins that get dropped, like the Libra coin, is those coins will never come back. Those will go to zero. But with the Boys Club, being that they're associated and correlated to a major altcoin, which is Ethereum, those coins will always survive. Those will always have a speculative bid on them because people will always speculate on Pepe. Well, if people are always going to speculate on Pepe, they're going to speculate on Brett, Andy, and Wolf because it's part of the same narrative. Ethereum will go up. Pepe will go up. The Boys Club will go up over a long enough time frame. So that's why you need to be intelligent in the way that you position in these markets and say, all right, here are my core positions. These are my long-term positions. I know that eventually ETH is going to go into price discovery. Here's where I'm going to make the bulk of my money. As opposed to being, Boys Club's not pumping right now. Oh my God, Libra just dropped. Let me take all of my money out of ETH, put it on Solana, try to chase Libra. Boom, all my money's gone. It's like, well, that's the fucking game that you played, Harrison, because you had no patience.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the one part I do agree with Murad about, because I mean, obviously he just bull posts his coins all the time, which I respect. I mean, we've talked about that. Like if, people are going to have conviction plays and they have a huge audience and they're, a KOL or whatever, they're going to take advantage of the position that they're in and they're going to stay convicted to the plays that they've been preaching since the beginning. It's the same way with Crash, bull posting Brett 2 or 3 times every single day. But I do agree with Murad with the fact that he says the cult meme coins that have like a really loyal fan base and foundation behind them are the ones that are going to win this cycle. And I think that that's what we've seen. I mean, obviously Pepe has a super strong cult following. It has, since really last year, January, February, whenever it really blew up. And yeah, I mean, people are going to be loyal to that narrative, especially once Pepe really starts ripping this cycle and gets up to, 30, 40, 50 billion. People are going to be looking to, rotate down the risk curve. They're going to go into the rest of the Boys Club members. So yeah, it's a strong narrative. It's tied to Ethereum, which obviously that's what you want. You don't want to just depend on it randomly pumping or dumping whenever. Yeah, I think the coins that have those types of followings and that type of culture around it are definitely going to win this cycle. And that's something Murad's been preaching since beginning of last year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fear not the man that shills you 1,000 coins one time. Fear the man that will show you one coin 1,000 times. Yeah. That's what you want. You want the guy who's going to be convicted to his bags and continue to show those bags, not one of these guys who are trying to scam you, pump one bag, dump on your head, delete the tweet, go back, pump another coin, delete the tweet, blah, blah, blah. No, those are scammers. No, you want guys who are convicted into their positions. So let's look at some charts, gentlemen. So where are we at in the broader market? Because I know everything's been boring with the majors not really making the direction up or down after that huge liquidation event. So let me. Who's
TWT?
Oh, he's a new guy who just joined the Taylor's Code. He just joined a couple days ago. He was in the Discord. Yeah,
he's in the chat.
He's the
man
one
who chases all rabbits, catches none. True.
That's exactly correct. Yeah,
I got Jake's in the chat too.
Jake, straight from Germany. Jake, you gotta let us know what's going on in Germany. I hear they're trying to put people in jail for tweets. Is that right? They become in the UK over there in Germany?
Ooh.
Yeah, not good. That's why Vancino had to go over there to Europe and smack those European Union leaders on the head. Say, yo, free speech, gentlemen. What's going on over here? All right, let's hide this. I'm doing a little Mr. Producer real quick. And then we're going to do screen capture. I'm going to do entire screen. Do a little Mr. Producer. Got all them hoes. All right. You see this, Harry?
It's loading up.
Loading up. TWT.
Yep, I see it now.
Gang, gang. Only the squad. on the gang. All right. So we got Bitcoin right now within the same exact. This is what we've been saying for the last couple of weeks too. It's funny how this stuff just plays out. Ever since BTC was in between the February monthly open and the 2025 yearly open, we've been saying that this provides zero signal. And guess what? We've continued for the last week or two, literally just ranging right in between these two this monthly open and this yearly open, because it provides zero signal. Market doesn't know what direction it wants to go. Therefore, Bitcoin's not doing anything. So just to show a couple of quick indicators on here, I was showing the gentleman inside of the Taylor's code this morning on some charts I was posting. If we look at Bitcoin here, just on some of the indicators, we want to look at the daily because this will give us a little bit better data. So I put this ray right here, right below the RSI on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin looks like it's bottomed on the RSI. It doesn't really look like it want to come down any lower. And it's been bottoming right at this range right here. So I can see Bitcoin basically doing something like this, kind of just slowly kind of bottoming out like this and then going like that. Just because the RSI looks bottomed out, I can't imagine it's come down much lower. The Williams percent is also bottomed here at the almost, or pretty much in the oversold now. So just based on the Bitcoin indicators on the daily, I don't really see much more downside on Bitcoin, which is good. Now we just need an actual decisive move to the upside so the rest of the market can actually pick up and do something. Now, Bitcoin is not what I want to focus on a lot today. We'll do a little bit of Ethereum real quick as well. So I had sent this in to the Taylor's code this morning as well, whenever we got this big meat stick on Ethereum this morning. First thing I said was, hey, it's a Monday open. So, or I don't believe the market's actually open in New York, but it's a Monday move because today's President's Day. So we usually get this scam move on Mondays, and that's typically a fade. Okay, so we've said that before. Mondays is usually a fade. You know, if the market pumps on a Monday open or around a Monday open, typically that move is going to get retraced and vice versa. So you see this big move happen on Ethereum, completely get retraced almost instantly, and now we're coming back down, okay? So why did that happen? Well, if we look, I actually posted the chart in the Discord. I'm not going to show it on here, though. I'm not going to give away too much alpha. But basically, open interest, Logan, had been shot up on Ethereum. So a ton of people opened hundreds of millions of dollars worth of ETH longs. And so those longs basically created this push up on Ethereum. Once Ethereum got up into that 28.50 range, looks like a lot of them got closed, and that's what shot the price back down instantly. But that was due to almost completely OI, open interest. And because Bitcoin didn't make a move to the upside with it, that's why that you saw that pump retrace. So I don't know if you saw that this morning, but yeah, it was open interest that had done that.
Yeah, I didn't see that it was open interest. I figured it was pretty scammy though, because I was getting the notifications on my phone. It said ETH's up 5%. I said, oh, that's interesting, because I'm getting notifications at the same time that Solana's down 5%.
Exactly.
I'm like, Ethereum definitely does not have the strength right now to be making breakout moves on its own. I was like, something's off. So usually if I'm getting just ETH moving up notifications, I know something's wrong.
Right.
So yeah, I clicked into it. I saw it was up to like 2750, 28, 2800, 2850, and then that's when I was getting my labs done. And then I checked it after my blood work, and it was already retraced pretty much the whole move back to like 2750.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I checked the Bitcoin chart, saw it hadn't done anything. I said, yep, something scamming. Markets are closed today. It's a Monday morning. Bit of finesse going on for sure. So
that's exactly what it was. I'm looking at the chart right now that I posted. So open interest was at a little bit under 23 billion on ETH, and then it pumped all the way up to 25, almost 26 billion dollars. So a couple billion in a couple of hours got opened up on ETH, and that's what caused that price to shoot up like that.
Makes sense.
So,
yeah, I mean, it's not looking bad though. I mean,
it's curling. It's trying to tease us. That's what I'm saying. It's teasing us. And so I want to show you guys something that I had posted again in the Discord over the weekend that I want to go over on the stream. Look at this little fucking move right here. Look at that. I was looking at the chart. I was trying to find some confluence and some price action that looked similar to what we had before on ETH. Look at this, Harry. This is interesting. So what we had been doing is comparing this move to this move on August 5th when we had this huge liquidation. So if I open up the RSI, okay, so I'll draw it out again. We had this liquidation, which would have been this liquidation wick. We had this pump back up to the range high, and then we come back and we fill the wick, okay? So we get this liquidation, we come back up, we hit the top of the range, right? And so in theory, we would get, if we're...
Please, no.
Yes, exactly. I know we don't want to see it, but in theory, we would get a move like this back down to fill the wick right there, right? Okay, like that.
I don't think we're going to.
So exactly. Okay. That's what I was just going to get to, because now I'm not seeing that, because that almost is too obvious. And you'll learn in markets like this, if it's too obvious, sometimes it's actually signal that it's not going to happen because it's overcrowded, that trade. Most people think it's going to happen, so it actually ends up not happening. So that's what would be playing out if it was the same thing from August 5th. Here's the thing though, right? So let's get rid of those drawings. What if we're doing this, Harry? Check this shit out. Okay, you see this little range I drew back over here?
Yep.
Okay, look at this. So we're here, we're ranging. We get this breakout, this bull trap, this deviation from the range, and we nuke back into the range and then up only, right? Look at this. Ranging, break out of the range, big deviation bear trap, come back into the range, and then up only. Do you see the similarity there?
Yeah, and I mean, if you go back a little bit further on the chart too, what was it doing before it got into that range that you drew? I guess it was ranging down at the bottom too.
Yeah, it was down here. This was bear market. Yeah.
Range for forever.
Yeah. But it looks similar. So this is just on a much larger scale over here, but that's basically the same structure that this one had built, right? So you come into this range, except this one was from under, this one came from above. We come in, we start ranging right here, just like this, right? We start ranging, we get this breakout move. Here's the breakout move. We break down from the breakout move, right? We break down for the breakout move, and then we nuke back into the range that we had previously formed. Look at this. We nuke back into the range, right, that we had previously formed. Here, though, look, we didn't get this refill of this wick right here. We didn't come back down and refill it. We just kind of nuked back down, reversed, and then boom, up only. Right? But everybody was expecting this wick to get filled right here. Right? Everybody was expecting it to come back down in here. Right? We never got it. So what if that's the same thing that's playing out over here, where everybody's expecting this wick to come back down and get filled, but it just doesn't, and then you just end up fucking pumping. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I just think for the time of the year, yeah, there's no way. Because it's like over the summer, whenever it pulled back on August, it's like it ranged for 3 months, 4 months. It's like we don't have time,
right?
Time for that shit right now. And if you go back like a couple years to the last time that, yeah. So this price, I think we were talking about it either a week or two ago. Once we busted down below this like 2,700 level. So this level that we're at right now has been historically really significant on Ethereum. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you look at the last cycle, whenever we've come to this level, it likes to either snap way below, or once it breaks through, it just starts ripping face.
Right.
And it's done it, whenever it's coming up from underneath, once it hits that level, it just tends to start going parabolic. But if it comes down below it, like you look in April, May of 2021, which was after that first big leg up. Yeah, right there. It comes down to this like 2,800 level and snaps all the way down to, what did it go down to? Like 1,300?
Right. Like right in here. So you see a lot of movement here, right? So it breaks through, pump hard, comes back down, it breaks down through it, comes back down, breaks through, pumps hard, retest, pumps hard, right? There's a lot of interaction going on in this price level. And then it finally breaks down through it again, and then boom, you nuke, right?
And on that wick down on like April, yeah,
April.
right there. What did that wick from? It was up to like 46, 4,700, and it wicked down to what, like 15, 1,400?
The full move, like from up here,
Yeah.
60%. Yeah, it went from minus $2,600. Hilarious. So it came from 43.90 all the way down to 1,700 before ending up making a new all-time high. Think about people trying to handle that kind of price action right now. They'd be fucking can we say that? They'd be jumping off of bridges.
In GTA 6.
Yeah, in GTA 6. Yeah. So, right. So people, look at this. ETH went from $4,300, wicked all the way down to 1,700 in the matter of what? Days.
8 days.
8 days.
12 days.
We'll give
8 days. Yeah.
8 days. Think about that. Think about that happen now. 4
Yeah,
days.
if over the next, in the last couple weeks, instead of being at like 3,400 ETH, we were at 4,300. And then instead of pulling back to like where we're hovering right now, we pulled back to 1,800. Yeah. And then a month later, it sets a new all-time, or 2 months, 3 months later, it sets a new all-time high.
People would be losing it. And they think we're going through it right now. Gentlemen, we've done way larger moves on these majors from previous cycles whenever the assets were less liquid, and we still survived and made new all-time highs. So that's why whenever we come back all the way over here to where we're at right now, I'm not shaking on our conviction plays with the boys club because I know that ETH is going to break all-time highs this cycle. I'm just under the impression that that's what's going to happen. So however we get there is what remains to be seen. But is it going to happen? In my opinion, yeah, for sure. So heroes bid, heroes accumulate at the lows, understanding that over a long enough period of time, we're going to get that move to the upside again, right? Like we did on ETH all the way up to $4,800, $4,900. We're going to get that move. Therefore, all of our bags are going to pump to new all-time highs. Patience, though. It's patience. A lot of markets, a lot of business, a lot of making money is just being able to outlast the market participants, being able to outlast your other competitors. That's so much of success lies within that itself. Can you outlast the other man, right? You might have a better entry. You might have had a better opportunity to sell. You might have had a better pick on meme coin, etc. But if you get blown out of the markets too early and you can't outlast the other market participants, you'll end up losing money. Can you last the longest, right? Until we get these eventual moves that we know are going to come on ETH, right? So
yeah. And I mean, I think the fact that it's held, I mean, obviously it did wick down pretty hard, a couple weeks ago. But I mean, it's held very close to like the top of this range. I mean, obviously now we're getting a lot closer than what we were a few days ago. But I just think the fact that it hasn't broken down through the mid range since that initial wick a couple weeks ago,
right.
If we were going to really roll over and start retesting the bottom of this range and pushing for like 2,000, 2,100, I think it would have already happened.
Right.
And I think Bitcoin would have been continuing to pull back more too. Like we'd be having Bitcoin down at the bottom of that range that it's in, probably like 87, 88,000. And Bitcoin's not showing that sign of weakness. So yeah, I mean, I think we're good. I think we're definitely going to hold above the mid range. I wouldn't want to see ETH lose like 2,600 really from here moving forward. Even like 2,500.
Right.
I think if we lose that, we're probably going to keep rolling over for another couple weeks. I don't want that to happen.
Right.
But yeah, I think if we maintain like 26, 2,700, and then over the next week or two, like hopefully before the beginning of March or the first week of March after the monthly open, get back into the previous range. And once we're back in the previous range, I think this shit's going to fly. So
yes, I agree. And so this is again this is what best case scenario is going to happen. It's this move right here. The range, the pop out of the range, and then up only. fake everybody out to the upside. That's what we would be hoping here. So that this is basically the start of this move right here. That's
Yeah, and make that move to 4,000 look like that previous move.
Exactly. Well, yeah, then it'll be, we'll fucking be all the way up in here. I mean, we'll be in price discovery. Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah, I'm saying like hopefully this next leg up makes it makes this previous move in November
Look
to
tiny.
4,000 look like that little ass move.
Exactly. Yeah, because in the context of this, right, this is way smaller and you got this massive pump out of this. This is a much larger range, larger pump out of the range. It's just a larger structure in general. So this move right here is going to look like this. And you're going to come up into $6,000 range. That's what. Yeah, at least. At least. So let's see if that plays out.
And I mean, you could draw this whole thing as a range too. It's like
yeah, exactly. On a 4-year basis, this entire thing's a range anyways. So let me get this out of here. Okay. Now, one other thing I wanted to show, because I was looking at this on the charts over the weekend. I had posted this in the Discord as well. So others, excluding top 10 assets, right? What the hell is this? Oh, that's a fib. So here's some context for the broader market as well, okay? So many charts on a higher time frame in crypto are in this massive 4-year reaccumulation range. Okay, this is an important piece of context that I don't see people looking at, that I'm at least becoming more and more aware of. So if we look at Bitcoin, I just want to show people an example. So let me show you something here, gentlemen. Okay. So this is in log. Let me get all these drawings out of the way, and I'm going to show you guys something very interesting. Whoops. Okay. So let me get this big fib. Where's the big ones? There it is right there. Okay. So we've talked about this before. We can choose to look at Bitcoin like it's in a massive 4-year reaccumulation range from the previous cycle. And then this first fib, the 1.618, is at $173,000. That's where I expect us to at least start topping out or have a mid-cycle correction on Bitcoin if it does continue higher than 173,000. Okay, that's on a 4-year time frame. We just broke out of that 4-year reaccumulation range. When you reaccumulate for 4 years, that first breakout move is not going to be a small move. This is not the end of Bitcoin here at 95,000. This is just quick little pause, bang, we're sending up to 173,000. Ethereum, look at this on a logarithmic scale. We're doing the same exact thing. Look at this. 4-year reaccumulation range. This one hasn't broken out yet. Bitcoin's the first one to break out, and Bitcoin's the leader of the market. 1.618 on ETH, 9,000. That's where I expect us to go, at least on Ethereum, okay? In the short term, not cycle top necessarily, okay? So there you go. 4-year reaccumulation range. Solana. Look at this. 4-year reaccumulation range. There's a reason I'm showing all this. Okay, so you guys understand the context. All right, close enough. Look at this. 4-year perfect reaccumulation range. Interaction with the mid-range, top of the range, mid-range, bottom of the range, mid-range, come back to the top of the range. And look at where we're getting rejected on Solana. Previous cycle all-time highs, okay? Just about to break out. Same thing on BNB. We could look at it on BNB too, but you guys get the point. Everything's in this like massive 4-year reaccumulation range. So here's the others market cap chart. Okay, so this is crypto total market cap excluding top 10 assets. So excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, etc. USDT, top 10, right? 4-year massive reaccumulation range on the logarithmic scale. First 1.618, 1.3 trillion, which is a little bit under the market cap of Bitcoin right now. So we come up, we have this previous cycle, all-time high. We reject, we come back down to the mid-range, pump back up. We rejected the same level, Okay, we reaccumulate, bear market, come back up. We try again. Look at this. This was our top on altcoins. Now looking back on it, 2020 hindsight, in December. This is whenever our altcoins were at the highest before they started drawing down for the next 2 months. And that's whenever we got smoked over the last 2 or 3 months. Yeah. So if we were looking at this chart, we could have looked at this and said, okay, do we think it's breaking through or do we think it's going to reject here? If we thought rejection, this would have been a good time to take profits and sell if that was like the game plan, right? So we reject, which makes sense on the previous cycle all-time high back in December. That's whenever altcoins were at their highest, if you guys look back at that. So here's the context in which we need to look at this. Bitcoin is the only one that's broken out of this 4-year reaccumulation range so far. The rest of these charts are about to follow. When this chart inevitably curls back up and finally busts through and rips to $1.3 trillion market cap, that's going to be our alt season. That's what everybody's been waiting for. Oh, there's not going to be an alt season this time. What's happening? No, we haven't broken out of the range yet. When we break out of this 4-year reaccumulation range on others, with the rest of altcoins like Ethereum, Solana, BNB, the other ones that are ranging at previous cycle all-time highs, we're going to get a fucking ripper that nobody could even have imagined, because we're still not even at all-time highs on this chart, right? We only traded at the same levels from 2021. We haven't broken out. So I just thought that was interesting that I don't see people really talking about this 4-year reaccumulation range across all these charts. But this is an important point of confluence, because when we break out, our shit's going to fly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just funny that some people say, the charts don't mean anything. Crypto's too volatile to try and do TA on. But yeah, when you look at this, it's like Ethereum and the, others and there's so many charts that are like this. I mean, Bitcoin, we saw that it broke out of the range, but they say there's no correlation, or the cycles, it doesn't mean anything where we're at cyclically. Crypto is just completely manipulated and so random that you can't actually predict anything. It's like, how can you explain this chart then? How can you explain the Ethereum chart where it hits almost to a T the exact levels that it did before, bounces its head off the ceiling and just gets sent back down?
Right.
Like over and over and over again, there's the same critical levels that show a bunch of resistance for so many charts, not just one. It's not just Ethereum. Like there's, you can find examples of this all over the place. So yeah, I mean, it's good to see this, because it's showing that there is, confluence, and it's showing that it's a good indicator to use. Right. And it's just funny that people think that way. But yeah, I mean, this chart is almost identical to what we've been seeing on Ethereum, which makes sense. So yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely due for a snap out. This is the exact time that we were expecting it to start to happen, was February, March, April, May. And yeah, I mean, this definitely looks like it's not going down. So.
Right. And so that's the thing that people got to look at this and say, well, do I believe that others never breaks out from all-time highs again? If you don't believe that, then this cycle's over. Then you believe that this cycle is over. And hey, if that's what you think, I mean, you're out of the market and you decide to get sidelined, fine. Now, listen, everybody's got their own opinion. But I don't look at this and say, okay, well, this chart clearly, which in the future, we're definitely going to make sure we pay closer attention to this, because that literally called the top on altcoins right at the beginning of December. And so, which makes sense, because it's a chart. These charts play. People look at these charts as indicators. Few do, but the people who make money do. So makes sense. We reject right there. Total altcoin market cap hits what it was before, and people psychologically decide to start selling. Okay, fine. De-risk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think too, it's like, if you think about how much money's been printed since the last cycle, you think about how many more people have adopted crypto. And a lot of those people that are adopting it aren't looking to invest in majors. They're looking to invest in shite coins that they can make a bunch of X's off of. So with how many more people have adopted it, how many more altcoins there are now? I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of more projects than there were last cycle. Right. Way more people that can access the markets and are willing to invest in these types of coins. And there's, billions, if not trillions of more dollars in circulation now. So to think that this sector of the market isn't going to be able to set a new market cap all-time high is, I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem possible at all that it's not going to set a new all-time high. with how many things are and with how much Trump's been talking about crypto. I mean, he's bringing a lot of attention to it, good or bad, whatever.
Right.
I don't know if you saw that picture, uh, Trump in the costume.
No, what was it?
I sent it to you. I texted it to you. People
Oh
were
shit.
saying that like we were better off with Gary Gensler in office, and there's this picture of Trump in this fucking costume. Let me see it.
Was he
Let me
dressed
see
as
what.
Gensler?
No, oh, it's the him in the orange jumpsuit, and it says CC on his chest, and it says crypto cancer.
Bruv,
I heard you fools been buying the dip. 2021, I tried and failed to kill your crypto. 2025, I took all your bags.
he did. He came in, he said, I'm all for crypto, and then he launches a coin and took all the money. Hilarious.
Thank you for your votes, suckers. When Bitcoin hits predictions made years ago before recent election, you will you will pretend it's only because of me. God, you are stupid.
Yeah, Pumpino turned into Dumpino there recently. But we'll see. Everybody's starting to come out because they had to disclose all the ETF holdings for the Bitcoin ETFs. And you saw how many companies, countries, and institutions came out saying that they were accumulating hundreds of millions of dollars of that Bitcoin ETF. So, yeah, short term, we did get smoked, little cycle correction, but overall, I see things going much higher. So if you look at this on the altcoin, the others market cap, when we get this move up to this 1.618 on the fibs, that's a 5x from the total market cap that we're at right now. 5x on this chart. Altcoins are going to fucking fly as long as you're in the correct ones. If we look at, let's just look at from over here. I want to see what this move was like. This was 7x, 6x. So
We'll do it for March, like January to March of 2024. Because Andy, that's whenever we were invested in Andy and Wolf and stuff, and they did a 15x
True.
off of,
True.
it's like off of what kind of move?
So they launched Pepe and all that shit started moving up right here. So it only made it became stagnant too. I mean, it didn't even go higher. It did a 2x from March, and that's whenever Pepe pulled the 10x from February to March. Pepe pulled a 10x. So, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like Pepe pulled a 10x, Wolf and Andy were doing, thousands of percent. Brett went from a couple hundred mil to 2 bill. So, yeah, everything was flying. I mean, we saw 50%, 60% days on the coins, and this sector only grew 2x. Didn't even hit a previous, didn't even make a new all-time high. So yeah, we get a 5x out of this, and it's like, those moves too are that each x is so significant. Like that's another $200 billion of liquidity coming into this sector. Like that's not a small move.
Right.
It's not a small amount of money. So yeah, we get that kind of move on this chart. Valhalla.
Yeah, absolutely. 10x on Pepe off of a 2x move on others. So we get a 4x move on others. Well, in theory, that would be a
40x.
Would it be 20x? Because 2x to 4x would be.
It's moving 400% instead of 100%.
Oh, wait, that's not even a 4x. 400% is a 5x.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So, yeah. Okay, so shit's going to fucking fly. That's not a small move. This on this chart doesn't seem like a lot. That's not a small move up to the 1.618. That's a massive move. That's a 5x on the total market cap. So, and so you guys understand, why does something like Pepe do a 10x whenever this goes up 2x, this chart? Because it's going to be disproportionate, the liquidity flows into these different meme coins, right? So if altcoins go up 5x, right, total market cap, The winners like Pepe, Brett, Andy, and Wolf, the ones that receive the majority of that market share, are going to fly much higher than a 5x because they're receiving the majority of that liquidity, right? So something like Pepe, if it does a 10x last March off of a 2x move on others, well, you give us a 5x move on others, Pepe's flying. That's how you can start to get these targets that you had on Doge at 80, 90, 95 billion dollar market cap when it started at 1 billion from the beginning of that year whenever it flew in 2021. That's how you can see something like Pepe go to 100, 120 billion dollar market cap. Because if it can pull a 10x under those conditions, you give us a heated up market, a real blow off top, a real alt season, Pepe does fly to 100, 120 billion. People, oh my gosh, that's not going to happen. No way. Bruv, if ETH goes to 9, 10K, Pepe is going to 100 bill. Okay. So,
yeah. I mean, I think too, it's important to remember too with this chart that Doge isn't even a part of this now. So it's like before, I'm sure that it was.
That's true.
You know, it's like I'm sure that it was before, but it's like you look at last cycle, it got up to, 420 billion. But Dogecoin at that point, as it was climbing up, I'm sure eventually it slipped out of being included in this chart. But when you think of 400 billion, but, one coin is making up 40, 50 billion of it, it's making up 10 to 15%. Dogecoin's the number 8 largest crypto coin now. So it's not even included in this chart.
Exactly.
We get a 5x on this chart without Dogecoin being 80, 90 billion of that. I mean, everything's gonna get pumped so much harder. So,
I agree. This is all looking fantastic. It's all right though. People want to be sidelined. People don't think it's gonna happen. People can't have the patience to reaccumulate at the lows because their portfolio just swung 80, 70%. I get it. I understand why. Can't be me. Wouldn't be me though. Never be me. I'm gonna outlast all these motherfuckers. All of us. All right, so that's others chart. Then there was going to be one other chart I want to show quickly. So now if we go back and we show, let's take a look at something like Pepe. All right, let's take a look at Pepissimo because everybody loves Pepe, huh? Okay. So let's take a look at Pepe. So in the context of all this, right, we had talked about before how Pepe's doing everything that it's done since it was launched under the context of ETH BTC underperforming, going down only for the past 4 years. So we get this big, massive pump off of the Coinbase listing. We kind of make this new little all-time high. This was the bull trap, the little deviation, and then we completely retrace this entire Coinbase listing move after altcoin market gets decimated. So still, understand how well this performed under the current market conditions. So let's do this a little like that. Yeah. So what I'm expecting to happen is if ETH and these altcoins start to move the way that they can start moving here with the seasonality that we have in place, you're not going to see this wick down here, this liquidation wick that we basically had off of that nuke. You're not going to see this get filled. Okay, and a lot of people are waiting for this move back down lower to fill this wick before they start entering in their positions again. Well, what happens if we do something like this? Oops. Right? Same thing here. We get this massive liquidation, this massive wick down on Pepe back in April of 24 after we pulled this 10x from down here. Right? This is when Pepe hit the 10x, but last year in February and through March. Okay. People were waiting for this wick to get filled. Same thing. And then what ends up happening is you get this next massive move up again to end out the May top for altcoins last year. That's whenever most things topped out, was May, beginning of June. So you end up missing out on, we could take it from this low. Another, look at that. Another almost 4x, right? Just trying to wait to get this move and get repositioned again. So this is what I'm saying is I'm thinking that this is what's happening over here is the longer that we continue to hover up above this wick, this looks like that was your best bet. This wick right here, this refill right here was your best bet at this wick. Because over here, people are waiting for this wick to come down and get filled. It never comes. And then you end up ripping for another 3, 4x after running a 10x from right here. This is how quick shit will get heated whenever we go into a nice little alt run. And this is the same seasonality that we had from last year. Look, so you rip a 12, 13x here. You draw back down. You get this liquidation. You're waiting for this. You're thinking it's over. You think it's going to come back down lower. Bang, you get cranked out for another 3, 4x. Cranked. This is how quick shit heats up. People forget about this. This shit was cracking off last February, March, April, May. So here, I'm starting to be in the camp that we're not getting this wick. We're not getting that refill. And so what you're going to see on Pepe is it's going to continue to curl as long as ETH holds up and it fakes us out and continues to go to the upside. You're going to see this move right here. Just like we saw right here. Right? So, what the hell is this text? But yeah, what do you think about that, Harry?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very similar to what we're seeing on Ethereum right now. I mean, all these coins are going to move in accordance to Ethereum. We know that. So whenever we were talking about Ethereum, I said I don't see it coming down into the mid-range or the bottom of the range that it's in right now. I think it's going to hold pretty steady where it's at, definitely above 2,700 over the next couple of weeks, get back into the previous range, so back above like 3,200. And once we're back into the previous range, I think it's going to rip pretty hard the beginning of March. So with that thesis on Ethereum, it carries over to the rest of the boys club. I'm expecting to see the same things. I mean, they all had the nasty wick down a couple weeks ago, but I think it's on all of them. I think it's been filled as much as it's going to.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, we're going to maintain these levels and over the next couple weeks, finally get some movement out of ETH. I've been dreaming about 5,000 ETH.
It's coming. That's what I'm saying. This shit is coming. People, they forget how shit heats up. So
oh yeah, I mean, as quick as it's over, it's back. So
exactly. So I don't know, Hair Bulls. I don't think you're getting that wick fill. I'm starting to get that inclination that you're not going to get that wick fill. All right.
Yeah.
Outside that, we gave them the juice. We just gave them a bunch of fucking alpha. If you guys want the real juice, when we're buying, when we're selling, taking profits, basically charts, indicators, things that we're using that we're not talking about publicly on YouTube, because obviously we got to maintain our edge for the network. The link is in the description. Okay, join the Taylor's Code. As soon as you join the school community, we're going to get you into the private Discord. So I'm going to send you a link. You're going to join the private Discord, and that's where we update everything live. Over the weekends, we're in the trenches making money. Whenever I'm posting charts on a day-to-day basis, we're not live on YouTube. You guys need to still make sure that you're up to date, understand what's happening in real time in the markets. We're live on YouTube Monday and Thursday. You can't rely on Monday and Thursday to, completely manage your portfolio every single day throughout the week, right? So to get those live updates, to have that live support, ask me about charts, ask Logan about charts, get analysis on your picks, your buys, your sells. If you want something charted, we'll chart it for you inside the Discord. Get inside as quickly as humanly possible so you can start making money with us and start positioning properly for this next move up on alt season. Because here's the thing. Some of you are going to wait. And you say, prices are still low. I have time. You're going to wake up one day. Pepe is going to be up 2x in one day. It's going to be up 100%. You're going to start freaking out. You're going to say, holy fuck, I need to join the Discord right now so I can find out what the hell's going on. You're going to pay. You're going to join. You're going to get in there. And then you're going to have missed out on 2x on the potential move. You're still going to make money because it'll go higher. But you're going to miss out on 2, 3x before you decide to join. You don't wait till the move already happens. You join now, you get positioned beforehand so that you can enjoy and reap the reward of the entire move because you were accumulating at the lows. So outside of that, that's all I got, Harry.
Yeah, all good. That move would have paid for the full year, couple years of being in there. So
couple years. That's a great point that you brought that up. Taylor's Code is $25 a month right now, gentlemen. If you're an investor and you don't see the value in investing $25 to be able to make thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars more on your portfolio because you're a part of a network like that, you're not an investor because you don't understand how investing works. That $25 is worth it. Number two, it's going to $50 a month at March 1st. Once we fully launch the private Discord and the server that we had built out for you guys, the university is going to $50 a month as the base. So you got 2 weeks. You want to be grandfathered in at 25 a month, or do you want to wait till it's 50 a month, till things start pumping before you decide to take action? It's up to you. I know what some of you are going to do. I know what some of you are going to do in a good way, and you're going to join now. So, Mr. Producer, this shit. Let's get out of here, Harry. All right. Where are we at? Where are we at? Hold on. Screen capture. Oh! No. Not yet. Not yet. All right, hold on.
No, you cut me off last time. I'm doing it now whenever I want.
Oh, why? Yeah, the stream ended too early?
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. All right, you're good. Hit him with it.
Good night.
You know, there's some freaks that watch us. They're like, oh, fuck.
They listen to it on repeat.
Yeah, they got that good night ASMR at night. They play it on repeat. Oh.
I'm going to jump in the cuddle.